Welcome back to another episode of Obliterated Companion. I'm Peter. You guys, we finally got her. We finally got a time that worked for the both of us. We have Paola Lázaro
There
joining, who
we go.
plays Angela Gomez. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm enjoying life. Staying thankful every day. So I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I fell off The Walking Dead after season seven. You know,
Okay, yeah, I get that.
I'm gonna be honest, because I was covering season seven for a podcast because somebody else before me was like, "I'm good," and so I covered it. I'm like, "You guys, this is starting to feel like a chore," and so I passed it off. And you wouldn't show up
What
until
podcast was it, if I may ask?
it's actually no longer. I just started searching for it, but it used to be called TV Ate My Brain,
Okay.
and it's just it was a network, and so like we can cover what we wanted. So I did like the I found this out interviewing T Terrence, that he was on Unsolved, the investigations of Tupac and Biggie murder. So I covered that show not knowing he was also
Wow.
on that. Yeah, we found that out while talking. But that's where I started Cobra Kai. And then when I
Gotcha.
started getting like all the interviews, I created something separate, Cobra Kai Companion, and that's when the companion name kind of started. After all of those other coverages that I did.
Right.
Yeah, but I couldn't even tell you what happened at the end of season seven, but I just know that was the last of my coverage. And
Yeah.
watching some of the Princess moments last night, go, I think I need to go back and watch those four episodes of season 10, and then
Oh,
all of
she's
11.
wild.
See, we'll get into her.
Oh yeah.
So I like to go back and kind of learn a little bit about you. You were born in San Juan, which
Yes.
I think anybody that follows you knows that. But what was it like growing up for you before you got into writing and even acting? What was it like growing up in elementary school, middle school?
I was always in trouble at school. Definitely. I was a class clown. So I just tried to make everybody laugh, and I was just always acting up. And I was a little poet, um, and really into music and stuff. But definitely like the title would be class clown, and I was in the principal's office a lot and in trouble at home a lot. So that was pretty much my take on elementary school. That's how I rocked that.
It's the only way to rock. But
That's
poet,
right.
where did that come from? Did somebody in the family introduce that to you?
Um, Well, my uncle is writes poetry. He's a professor, but no, I think I got into poetry through salsa music.
Hmm.
Um, from 1970s salsa music that my dad used to play, and I just there was this one particular song that told the story of a bullfighter that he's an orphan and he becomes this old woman takes him in and he becomes this great bullfighter, and it basically in one song tells the story of his whole life,
Hmm.
um, and up to his death. And I remember being mesmerized. It was my favorite song. I remember being mesmerized um, with the fact that you could tell a life story in such a small time frame, and that's why I started getting into writing. I
Oh,
was mesmerized by it for some
yeah.
reason.
Is
Yeah.
this the same uncle that gave you that tattoo?
Oh no, this is his brother. His baby
Okay.
brother gave me that tattoo. That's another story that was in his house, and it was his third tattoo ever. So it's like a little
So,
cringy,
so,
but I
so,
love
so
it.
for those that don't know what that is, can you talk about the Puerto
Oh,
Rico, right?
it's Puerto Rico. I had this I think I was like 19 or something, and I had this like gory theory that like if somebody
It's
morbid,
out there. It's out there.
but it is, no, it's I had this theory that if somebody found my body, like my dead body somewhere, and I had no ID on me, that they would know to bring my body there, that they would know to bury me there. Um, and so I was like, okay. And then my uncle had just started tattooing. So flew back to Puerto Rico for the summer, and I was like, oh, I want you to tattoo me like this map of Puerto Rico. He's like, okay, for exchange of for a pack of Marlboro Reds. And he's like drinking a local beer um and just tattooing me. It was his third tattoo ever, so it's a little busted, but I love it.
Do you do you have a like an X marks the spot, like anywhere specific, or just
No,
like
no, no. It's
just
just
get me
pretty
there?
general. Yeah, it's pretty general. It's just like get me there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Things
That's
things we
it's
do
unique.
at that age.
I at 18, 19, I got a big phoenix tattoo on my back, all
It's
one
part,
color. Yeah,
you
and
know.
my firstborn, his name is Phoenix, and
Oh,
so I got a big phoenix on my back. But I was also in the army when I got it done. So it's like I was
wow.
19 years old.
Yep.
Actually, I think I was 20. But anyway, recently he's 23 now, and
Your
he
son is 23 years old.
yeah,
How is this mathematically possible?
I'm 40, so I was a teenage dad. I was
Gotcha.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm
No,
the
but
I'm
I
the
thought
original I'm the
I didn't
original
even
16
think
and
you would
pregnant.
I didn't even think you were 40.
Oh
Like
well,
that's
thank
why
you.
I'm still like,
Yeah,
what? Thank you.
thank you. It's all
So he
it's
just
all the Asian food, all the rice.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
you're looking
So
great
he
too.
oh, thank you, thank you. So he just turned 23.
He's going to be turning
Wow.
24 at the end of June.
Wow.
And so the story is, my name is Peter. I was named after Peter Parker. My dad was a big fan of the Spider-Man comics
Wow.
in the 60s and 70s. And so my son just got a big Spider-Man tattoo on his back.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
and it's big as mine too. I guess he's trying to go harder than dad.
That's
Yeah.
right. And they
Yeah.
had you have to go harder than
Got
the
to
parent.
show up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, poetry, where does that lead you? Because anybody that follows you knows this, I feel, but you're also a playwright. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
tell Hector I miss him. But
Yeah.
yeah, you've done some actual writing, not just like a
I
hobby.
have.
So how did that lead you there?
Yeah. Well, I when I was in high school, I started writing. I wrote this original comedy, like monologue piece that was like a 10-minute long comedic piece about life, about my life. And I used to perform it. And, we did this competition that went all around Puerto Rico um and I was like, oh, I'm really into this. I dig this. And so I wanted to study something that had to do with like acting and music and writing and all those things together and art. And I was like, okay, maybe if I study, writing TV, stage, and film, I can incorporate all those things that I love. And so my dad started helping me. This was back in Puerto Rico, but looking for universities and stuff like that and programs. And we found this program at SUNY Purchase, which is the State University of New York. It's an art school, like a half hour from New York City. And it had this program called dramatic writing, which was writing TV, stage, and film. And I was like, okay, let's apply. And we sent in, I applied with that 10-minute piece that I had written, and I got in, and it was like a 20 student program. And I was like, okay, cool, let's get into this writing thing. And so I studied and I graduated with that degree, and then went on to study playwriting for a master's at Columbia University in New York City. So yeah, most of my time was spent writing, and I wasn't gonna act anymore. I wasn't gonna really get into that. It wasn't a thing. But then I met the late Philip Seymour Hoffman had this theater company. Rest in peace. Had this theater company that still exists. It's called the Labyrinth Theater Company in New York, and they're like considered like the bad boys of theater in New York. And somehow I got connected with them through um, one of the writers, who's an incredible Pulitzer Prize winning writer, and he became my mentor for writing. And the thing with the lab, and you should read up on the lab. It's really an interesting place.
Okay.
The thing with lab is that it's ensemble based. So basically, if you come into that theater company and you're a writer, they make you act. Or if you're a director, they make you act. Or if you're a director, they make you write. It just they want you to play around and everything, so you know what it feels like to be on the other side. And so they would put me in readings, and I was like, readings as in like, stand up on stage and read a script and act like one of the characters. Um, and I was like, no, yo, no. What are we? No, I was like, I'm not doing. I'm a writer. Like, I just want to be depressed by my computer. I don't want to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, and I was in a dark place, and I was just like, no. And they're like, just get up there. And I was like, fine. And so I would do it, and I would be so quiet. I'd be like, And then, and I was like, whatever. And they just kept doing it. They just kept putting me up there and giving me notes and being like, yo, be louder. Like, that's not you. Like, we know you. Like, why are you acting like that? And they would just push me until I was like, fine, okay. Is this character is mad right now in this moment? Okay, I've seen mad. I've lived with mad. Oh, this character is sad. This character just lost like the most important thing in their lives. Okay, I've seen that. I've seen how that sounds. I've seen how that feels. I've seen how that sound of that whale vibrates through a room. Like I've lived these things, so I can like grab from them and pull from them and bring them out. And instead of using those dark experiences to keep staying in my dark hole, I was like, oh, okay, I can start using them to get out of that dark hole. I can start pulling from them to slowly start crawling out of it and use them in an art form.
Hmm. No, absolutely. I love it when actors can draw something from personal experiences,
Yeah.
because not every language is like translated right perfectly on paper. So it's very much like, well, this is the words, but also I think that like good actors, they are able to take something and kind of make it their own. And just seeing
Right.
some of the few clips of you in various things out there, I'm like, wow, she very much like you blur the lines of like the different characters, because when I kind of like discovered Princess, I was like, oh, okay, she's wielding a weapon just like Gomez. Let's see how different she
Yeah.
is. And there's an expression in the Cobra Kai world. It's a quote from Mr. Miyagi from the first Karate Kid movie: "Different but same." Your characters are very different, but they have some similarities.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, you play them both so differently. So I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Because sometimes you see like another project of somebody else is like, well, I could kind of see colors of that other person, but
Right.
it's kind of the same. But yeah,
But Princess was I always say it was me when I was a kid, when I was 7 years
okay,
old and I was hyperactive and didn't know where to put my energy, and Gomez is more me now, you know. And but they're both tough characters, but Princess is excited and she's pumped and she loves life and she wants to meet new people, but she's also like, what did you just say to me?
yeah,
But she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. Nah, I'm so sorry. I apologize. She's like boom boom boom, like those little balls that you get from the 25 cent when we were
yeah. Oh
kids.
yeah. The little
And
bouncing
like you
balls.
would bounce it and just go like boom 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 boom. That's Princess.
Okay,
Gomez is more Gomez is more like,
yeah.
you know,
Just by the book, no nonsense.
yeah,
No,
yeah. I mean, she's wild too, but like she's very like, it's much more serious than
Yeah.
Princess.
What's the line like? Like she's got a target and she kind of goes for it, and that's it, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. When you
all
have a
that.
target on, yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't want
She's
to.
she's serious.
Yeah, so a lot of the clips I saw early on was kind of the introduction of Princess, and then it
Yeah.
wasn't until like the red carpet scene, or I don't know what episode or season it
Oh
was.
yeah,
I saw that and the commentary for like that sequence. I was like, oh, that sounds really interesting. That's why I was like, I feel like I gotta go watch that season 11 now. Because you're in
yeah,
all those episodes. So
yeah, yeah.
let's kind of get into a little bit of that, The Walking Dead. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe in an interview you mentioned that you also have ADHD.
I do very much so.
Yeah, and so you kind of use that for Princess as well.
Oh
The
yeah,
the
yeah. Because the character in the comic books, she talks about ADHD and
mm,
being hyper and depression and PTSD and all these things. So, for me to be able to portray a character on such a big scope show, in terms of like the amount of people who saw that and who that was a part of their lives, that show, for 11 years, and big scope because of the time that the duration of the show, and to be able to speak about mental health in that show was, I mean, it was a dream come true. It was awesome. And to think that it might have initiated conversations in different households about those topics while they're watching the episode. Hopefully, was for the good, I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly, but
I think so.
um
Yeah.
I hope it initiated positive conversations around the topics that sometimes we're afraid to talk about.
No, absolutely. I don't know if you heard my interview with Kimmy, and that kind of came up. My 11-year-old son has ADHD, and we're took us a while, but we found the right medication, something that doesn't keep him
Yeah.
up, late at night or suppresses his eating. And I think it was even I feel like you had mentioned in the interview, like, once you find that passion, like,
Yep.
the focus and all that, he just discovered over the summer that he loves basketball. And we're like, yes, he
Yes.
finally
Yes.
get outside and enjoy life, like get off the tablet. And it's, he still has his moments at night when
Of
he's on the
course.
tablets because, like, we can't be like, go play basketball until bedtime, but
No, but we do the
loves it.
same thing.
Yeah.
We get on our phones and on our tablets and stuff like that and TV and but that's awesome. Does he watch like NBA games and stuff like that?
He likes highlight videos on YouTube because of the
Okay.
attention span, but he did recently watch almost a full game with me, but that's because do you follow the NBA at all? I don't know.
Yes, I do, sir. Yes, I
Okay,
do.
so all right, so Portland Trailblazer fan here. So you know
Wait,
about how
where what fan?
Portland Trailblazers?
Trailblazers. Okay.
Yeah, Trailblazers, yeah. And so, Lillard just, got traded to the Bucks,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so the game that he watched was Lillard's return to Portland. And
Wow.
highly televised, and everyone was talking about it, right? Like, what's it going to be like? And then we got the a win. They beat them, and so he watched that because it meant a lot to the city.
Yeah,
Lillard's been
yeah.
here for so long and all that. Who's your team?
Okay, so I'm more of a like I'll fall in love with players like with the way they
Okay,
play and the way they behave in a game. But because of the person that I'm seeing, he's a Celtics fan through and
okay,
through. So for the last, 3 years, I've been like following the Celtics, and I'm
okay.
a big fan of Jason Tatum.
I like Jason Tatum a lot.
Yep.
2013 was he drafted? I feel that
Um,
that sound
I don't
right.
know. I've seen some videos of when he was drafted, and he was like a child,
Yeah,
he looked like a baby.
I
Um,
um I
uh,
feel when he drafted, there was a lot of talk like he could be like the one out of that draft class that goes big. And no, he's definitely one of a favorite player of mine that I
oh,
like to
he's
watch too.
fantastic. He's
Yeah,
fantastic, and that whole team, Porzingis, like that team is on fire. That team is on fire. I gotta admit. I'm like,
we just got their backup big. Was it Robert Williams the third
oh,
or
you
something like that?
got you got Williams.
Yeah, but he got
You don't like him?
injured. Well, he got injured.
Oh,
He's out for the rest of the season.
oh
and
God.
and and a podcast friend of mine is also a big Celtics fan, and so I was like, "Hey, what can you tell me?" And he gave me some really good stuff. He goes, "But if he could stay healthy, there was that big but." And then we got it. Then we got the I don't know what happened to him, and
Oh, I'm
he's out for the rest of the year
sorry.
already early on. So we didn't even get to see him paired up with we got DeAndre Ayton from the Suns.
Wow.
So it was
Wow.
going to
I like the
be
Suns too.
yeah, it's a good team.
Yeah.
I like Devin Booker. He's a good player.
Oh yeah.
I like his
Yeah,
game.
Devin Booker. Yeah.
So The Walking Dead, I'm sure you've shared the story of how you got on all that stuff, but I'm curious, what was the fan reception for your character of Princess so late into the season or late into the series
Right.
run, and then
Right.
ultimately on the final season? What was that like?
Um, well, there are I always think that there are like three characters on The Walking Dead that are larger than life. There's many characters that are larger than life. Um, but there's three that I think about because there's many villain there's whatever. There's three that I like to think about that are larger than life, and that's a King Ezekiel, the guy with the dreadlocks, played by Carrie Payton, and Negan, played by Jeffrey D. Morgan, and Princess. Those three characters are a little bit out of they pop out of that world a little bit. because a lot of the other characters are very serious and they, like for things like this. And
It's kind of like a
um,
blast from Obliterated, right? Like he's just a little bit
oh
different
yeah, yeah, yeah,
than everybody
yeah,
else, you know.
and like Haggerty.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
awesome. It's like these
yeah.
pops of like energy that come out. And so when when you play a character that is stepping outside the norm, there's always like people being like, like, what is this? What is this? Why is this happening? But the people who knew the comic books, they were like, okay, she's coming, like she's here. And I gotta say, like, most people were very receptive and very, very supportive, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. Like to this day, I still do comic cons and just have a blast with people. And because she's out of that world and she's larger than life, I think she resonated with a lot of people who feel like that, feel outcast in their own communities, in their own lives, in their own families, households. And um and also because she talks about mental health, I get a lot of people who openly talk about those things. And so, those experiences at Comic Cons are really emotional and really beautiful.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
I actually I forgot to do this before we started recording, but hey, she'll get a shout out on the recording. We have a mutual friend that I met through the Obliterated fandom is Fan Art Lindy.
Oh, you met
Yeah,
Lindy. You met
yeah.
Linda. Oh wow.
So
She's
we follow each
awesome.
other. She's so
Oh, she's
supportive of what I
great.
do, and likewise,
Yeah.
I share all her work, beautiful portraits
Oh
of
yeah.
characters. But
She's
just
all
found out,
support. Yeah. Sending
yeah.
love.
There you go. And she said she's met you in person. Actually, she showed me a picture of
Yeah.
you guys. Yeah. And but
Yeah.
also she doesn't live too far from where I stay. So hopefully one day her and I can meet up in person.
Oh, that's awesome. You say you're in Portland?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I've never been. Maybe I'll
You'll
maybe
have
when you meet Linda, I'll go over there.
yeah, you'll have to swing through. Like I know it's been a while since we had like a huge Walking Dead thing going on. I don't know it was the last time, but the last one I attended where they had a lot of the cast members was Stephen Yeun was here.
Nice.
Glenn was still alive, so that might
Oh yeah.
that might be one of the big factors why I started following off because the representation kind of dropped a little bit, but then
I
they picked it back up
know.
a little bit after, so
It
that was
was
cool.
so sad when his character passed. Like,
It was a really
whew.
shocking death, and he'd been there since day one, the character,
Yeah,
and so,
that's
but
terrible.
yeah, it's I'm just thinking about it right now, and then you're there with Negan, who did all that.
I know. But Stephen Yeun, like, I've never met him in person, but I'm just so happy for him and his success. That's
Beef, yeah, yeah. Congrats on
all
on the
I've
Golden
heard about
Globes.
him I've heard that he's an amazing human being. So there's nothing better than when good people, good talented people get good things happen in their lives. So I'm really
Absolutely,
happy.
yeah, absolutely. And so, like, having been part of like the final season, what was that like when it all kind of wrapped up?
It was definitely bittersweet. Definitely bittersweet because, my character came in so late in the series, but I got some good time there. That last season was 24 episodes, so that was like a year and a half of filming. And in the previous season I was in like the last 3 episodes, so it was a good chunk of time in my life. And oh man, it was awesome. It was awesome. Definitely bittersweet. I keep looking over here because my mom, in my house, she did a little Walking Dead wall in a little obliterated section. She's so sweet. But it was really a beautiful experience. I got along with everybody. That cast was so welcoming to me. I know you asked about what it feels like to come into a show so late in the game. I gotta tell you, those people, they took me out to dinner the night before I shot for the first time, just so I could feel comfortable. They made me feel at home. They were incredible. I'm very thankful to all of them.
There must have been like some anxiety, right? Kind of coming in,
Yeah.
a brand new character, an established fandom, people who love the graphic novels. It's like,
Right.
they already have it in their mind how this character should be. You know,
Yeah.
did you, what kind of pressure did you feel, if any, and how did you take care of that?
I mean, I I became so I worked so hard on that audition on the first one and on the second one. I did not leave my house for like 2 weeks working on it. I went to the grocery store, bought a bunch of food, and I was like, I'm not leaving my house. I would bring the sides into the bathtub and like put them in like that glossy paper. How do you call that?
Like the
Mica?
cover sheets, or
Mica. We call it mica. Yeah, the cover sheets.
okay.
And it's like plastic like this. You can't
Hmm.
really see.
Yeah, I can see it.
Um, I would put them in there and bring them into the bathtub and shower with it like stuck to the wall with the water, like just like that. People will call me and be like, "Yo, let's go out." I'll be like, "Nope, not interested." I'll be like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I'm working on this character." And so I worked so hard on that yes, of course I was nervous a little bit, but I was nervous, but when you're that prepared and when you really put so much work into something, nobody can take that from you.
Right.
Nobody can say, "Oh, you didn't work hard enough for it." Nope, sorry. You can't even say that to yourself. "Oh, I should have worked harder." Nope, nope, I did. I busted my butt working on this. So, yes, of course, there's nervousness and um certain amount of anxiety, but no, I was ready and I knew the character I was going to play. Um, I read the comics. I was like, this is she's big and she's hardcore and I know how to be that. And so yeah, I was scared, but at the same time I was like, let's go. And the people who read the comics, um I was so nervous to like meet them after, and be like, after the character came out, I was like, and they were like, you did it so much justice. They were like, nobody else could have done it. And I'm like, oh, that's all I wanted to hear, is that the people who knew the character were like, we're good. You're good. I
Yeah.
was so thankful for that.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna pretend, like I watched 7 seasons, and so like
Right.
I have like I feel like I had a good pulse on it back then, but after that, nothing. So I don't want to, I feel my opinions are, I don't want any of the deadheads or whatever to come after me, but I got
No,
a small sample size of a princess, right? But I
yeah.
definitely want to go watch your season 10 episodes and then all of season 11. Just, why not
Thank you.
at
I
this point?
appreciate that.
But what I want to get at is like, I kind of want to know, how do I guess you kind of revealed it, like tapping into the voice of Princess, because I feel she's so familiar in a sense, like she's lived in, like you weren't
Yeah.
even acting, because if you told me that Paola plays Gomez and a different actress played Princess, I'd believe you. That's how far apart. You know what I
That's
mean?
awesome.
Like
That's
Princess was
awesome.
really Princess. Like I saw no like Paola playing a different character. So how were you able to tap that in? Was it just more drawing your own experience? Because you said you locked up yourself in a house for 2 weeks to get that down.
Yeah. Which was funny because the character hasn't seen any living people for a year when she
Right.
comes out, when she meets everybody, which was also funny because the character came out on April 5th, 2020, in the middle of, or 2020, 2021. It came out in the middle of COVID.
So it's 2020. Yeah,
We
April
were
2020
all
then.
feeling that we hadn't seen people in a while. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, sorry, there's my ADHD. What was the question?
Just the like kind of, I guess, the process of like finding her voice. How did
Um,
you nail Princess, just because she's so specific?
I think I just tapped into, I think I was just tapping into like 7-year-old me, seven
Yeah,
year old me. And then with Gomez, I was just tapping into more Paola nowadays.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
just Princess. She has like a certain cadence. Like like I know all the clips were like specific to Princess, but
Right.
just like all the dialogues. Like I'm just like, kind of just tuning in. What's she gonna say next? What's she gonna do next? How's she gonna react
Oh
next?
yeah, she's
You
wild.
know? Yeah.
She just
Yeah.
keeps you
So
on your toes, and then with time she like starts settling into herself, and once she finds a community and love and all that stuff, she starts like being like, "Oh, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that." But she's always gonna be like a little out there, you know.
Yeah.
She's funky.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it, obliterated. Let's talk about that. So how did that come across your lap? Did somebody find you, or was somebody like, hey, you should audition for this?
Obliterated. I was in Washington doing a production of one of my plays. It's called There's Always the Hudson, a play that I wrote that I was acting in also. And I was in the middle of that, and I got a couple of auditions for different things, and then I got this one for Gomez, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun." I was like, "Let me sink my teeth into this," and nothing. I sent in the self tape, and then I got a call back, and then I got a call back with the guys, the boys, um, and uh, and then like the regular process. It wasn't like anybody specifically called me up and was like, "Oh, hey, you'd be great for this." It was just the regular process of working your butt off for
Hmm.
something, and uh and then meeting the guys was just awesome. I mean, I'm sure you know them.
They're all
They're
right. They're okay.
they're I love those. They're
Yeah, no, I
awesome.
do. Yeah, yeah.
I know.
Um,
They crack me up, man.
I have
Great
a
people to
different
collaborate with.
they're all great, and yes, collaboration, like everybody talks about it, right? Like Christine
Yeah.
talked about collaborating with them, and Shelly and all of that. But yeah, my relationship with each and one of them is all very different. Like I feel like John's kind of like my brother because I talk to him the most, you
He's
know.
a sweetheart.
Yeah, and Hayden is like the stepbrother that like gives you shit, and
Yeah.
when I visited the Cobra Kai set in 2019, and he got the short straw, right? So he had to give me the tour. And at one point, I don't remember how we got to it, but I asked him a question, and it was about like calling him something. He's like, oh, they call me top dog.
Oh,
So
oh,
he's out here like making things up, and
yeah, no,
he likes to speak in quotes,
they're all jokesters. They're all
yeah,
jokesters.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
and
awesome.
and Josh, like, I met him once. So John I met twice, Hayden I met like three times in person, but Josh, like, I like every time I was gonna meet the other two, he was never around, one for one reason or another. And so the
He's
third
a
time,
sweetheart.
he's great. And
Yeah.
I finally met him at Paley Fest, and the joke was like he doesn't even exist, like he's probably AI or something. So there's this video of me and them at Paley Fest, and Josh walks up, he's like, hi, I'm Josh Shield. I'm like, oh, you're real. So that's what that's
I
about.
love Paley Fest. We did it last year for Walking. Was it last year for Walking Dead for the finale? Was it last year?
Probably.
I've lost all track of time because of COVID. I
I
love Paley
feel
Fest.
I feel like they got rid of 2 days and made all the days longer, during the
Really?
COVID, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Who knows what year we're
5 days
in?
a week, 30 hours a day now. But
It's
Paley Fest,
it's rough.
it's really
It's
cool,
awesome.
and like it's a very intimate setting with the fans. It was my first time back in 2022.
So maybe we were no, I was there 2020. I don't know. 2022. I think I was there for Walking Dead.
Yeah, could have been the same week.
Maybe.
I was there.
Yeah.
So here's my point of reference. I was there the week after one actor slapped another actor on stage.
Oh,
I was
I
there literally
wonder.
1 week after. Yeah.
Okay, on stage at the Oscars.
Was it the Oscars?
Wait, was there two slaps? Are there
Will
two
Will
slaps?
Will Smith? Will
Yeah, that
Smith?
was the
Yeah,
Oscars.
yeah, yeah. Because he's executive producer on Cobra Kai, so I was trying to.
Oh, okay. Um, oh,
Was
I
it the
thought
Oscars?
you
Holy
were.
cow! I guess it was the Oscars.
I think it
Probably.
was. I think it was.
We don't know time.
Anyway, who knows what year anything is anymore?
Yeah. But
Who
Gomez,
knows?
so tell me, like, what do you remember about like the scenes that you had to remember for your self tapes?
What do I remember about the scenes for my
Was
self
it
tapes?
like Gomez and Maya
It
in the
was
desert
that
or
one of the second that was for one of the second or third auditions, but the first audition was us in the us in the helicopter.
You in trunk
Um,
or Gomez in trunk?
yes,
Nice.
me in trunk with the potato chips. Paul screaming at us,
Like
Jesus
the
Christ,
dad.
I will
Yeah.
land this thing.
Yeah.
And me being like, can y'all stop bickering? Y'all like a old married couple. It was that and the other scene, one of the other scenes was when I see the bridesmaid for the first time. And I
All
go
right.
Alpha Sierra, Sierra, 6 o'clock, Pillow Princess in the crosshairs.
That's
And it was
I love that talk. I think they needed more of that from Gomez. Just a little acronyms here and there.
it was fun. It was fun. But that was one of the first scenes that I auditioned with. And then the Maya stuff, but not necessarily yeah, me and Maya, yeah. When she starts crying and me fighting with Winters about her sending me with Maya,
Mm.
and being like, why am I carrying dead weight and all that stuff? And um yeah, man, good times thinking about it.
It sounds like it. Now,
Good
what
times.
was it like kind of working with Christine on episode
Uh,
2 at Big Willie's?
Christine was, that I've never done that in any show ever. So I was pretty terrified and she knew that. And Christine, for those who don't know, was our intimacy coordinator, an intimacy choreographer, and she was just fantastic. She just made you feel very, very safe, very comfortable, and also like pumped you up, which was like the most shocking thing because like you would think that intimacy coordinator they're very like, and she was very by the book, like this is what you do, this is what you do not do, and we don't accept this behavior, da da da. But she also, once she knew that you were by the book also, she knew what to say to make you feel comfortable and pump you up at the same time and silly stuff, to like, she knew exactly what you needed to hear in those moments. I'm not gonna repeat those things, but she knew exactly what Paola needed to hear in that moment to be like, okay, we can do another take. Let's do it. Let's do it. But it was
Yeah.
terrifying. That was terrifying. And Josh, I'm so thankful for, Josh was the director of that
Hmm.
episode, and he is such a, I mean, those three guys, they are so respectful, and I've never felt in any way, shape, or form uncomfortable around them, and I'm so thankful for that. They are complete gentlemen and complete professionals, and also awesome people. So very thankful for them.
Yeah, yeah. I too thank them. If it wasn't for Cobra Kai, I probably wouldn't have covered Obliterated. And I've been
Right,
so
right.
thankful to for all of you guys to give me your time and hear the stories. Uh, for anybody that's wondering, a little tangent here. But Christine McHugh, intimacy coordinator, that was a previous interview. So if anybody wants a very educational and informative and important discussion about what she does, I would definitely recommend it. I
Yeah,
I
she's
had a
great.
great time speaking with her. So Gomez, I asked about Princess. How did you tap into Gomez? Any inspirations, influences? How did you decide to play her?
Gomez's shaved side head with the three steps. That was my that was my own hairstyle.
Okay.
So, when I auditioned for it, I had that. I had first tape you see me, it's like half shaved head, 3 lines. And so when I talked with the guys and when I was testing for the role, I was like, "Hey guys, like I can totally like cover it by pulling my hair to the other side, and you don't have to see the half shaved head." And they're like, "Oh, no, 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 that's the character. We love it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, awesome." Um, so for Gomez, there's a lot of me in it. There's just the hairstyle is me. Um, the clothing was, Frank Costumes worked with
Hmm.
me to create that. Like the baggy pants, the Doc Martin boots, the thick Jada Max's boots. But no, it was a lot of me. It was a lot of me and the vibe that I was living off of during that time, and and I wanted her, you know, the way they wrote her, she's tough, and I'm tough, and you know, you don't need to dig too deep to find that, for me at least. But I also wanted to make her vulnerable at the same time, because I'm not interested in playing a character that's like one thing, you know. And that is something that the guys are really good at, is putting heart into like all of all of their characters. No matter how tough they are, there's always like that hint of heart, which is why I respect their writing so much, because that's not easy to do. So I definitely wanted to add some vulnerability of my own life into that character, which was in their writing also.
Yeah, it's all good writing all around, right? I mean, uh,
Yep.
Cobra Kai also has amazing writing, and
Yeah.
I love all the episodes because it's just so meaty. It obliterated, I should say, but like like Joe and Lawan's episode 6 is just really great dialogue. Bob Dearden
Yeah.
is just like the guy of dialogues,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So many good stuff, and I love that you being a writer yourself and kind of using your experience for that. You
Can
kind of
see
just
that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I
So
can appreciate that, you know. I can
now,
appreciate how hard it is to do.
oh no, absolutely. For Gomez, was there any sort of like backlash from like the fans or audience members for like Gomez, kind of like how she kind of intervenes like this marriage, because like the bride, like the whole Billy thing, nobody gave you a hard time about that. Like, okay,
No.
we weren't sure about
No,
it.
people I no, I think it was the
Like,
contrary. People wanted them to like keep hooking up, you know?
right. Yeah.
No, not that I
Oh,
know
that's
of.
funny. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like people I think wanted them to like keep hooking up or something. I don't think, not that I know of. I never
That's
got a message
hilarious.
that was like,
I
"Oh,
thought,
that's
so, were
sad
you
that you broke."
homewrecker? Yeah. Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, no.
No.
Okay,
I think
interesting.
if you were watching Obliterated and you were into it, you were like,
Give
anything
me more
goes,
of that.
man.
Yeah, Sarah. Give me more Sarah and Angela.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They, no, nobody, not that I know of. Maybe I gotta
Okay.
check my messages on Instagram or something, but
No, it's funny
no.
because yeah, shout out to my co-host Watch Party. He's got his own channel as well. And when we did I think it was our non-spoiler review, we whatever it was, either non-spoiler review or a season 1 recap. He had kind of teased he felt like there might be a character that some of the audience members won't like, and I didn't know he was going to talk about Gomez. And so when he did, and he said for those reasons, I go, oh, I didn't even think of it that way, but that's interesting that he thought that way, and I didn't even think about that. I
No, I never.
I don't know if I was on the shipping of like Sarah and Angela, but I did feel bad for Billy,
Oh no, I felt bad for Billy too, man. Like,
especially the finale.
no, I of course I felt super bad for Billy, and but no, I don't think I ever got any messages. I
Okay,
don't think that was
yeah,
on
yeah, not even
anybody's
on the
mind, really.
right.
Like, and I don't think that Gomez meant to like
No, she
necessarily
did.
like break the relationship. She wanted to hook up, definitely, but she didn't mean to like break the marriage. She was just like, dude, we just made out, and like, I touched her a little bit, but
It's a
it
little bit
wasn't like anything major. So
right.
yeah, I don't think I got anybody getting mad about that.
All right. So, yeah, I was just kind of curious because it was a interesting comment, observation that he made. I go, oh, I mean, I guess in the real world, I'd probably be upset about it. But yeah, I was
Oh
just like
yeah.
everybody else. I was along for the ride. I was like, that's cool. It's
Okay.
Vegas, whatever, it happens.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
stays in Vegas, as they say.
And you said that was the season one recap before it came out, or
Yeah, yeah. It's whatever episode we dropped the day the show came out because we got to see advanced
uh,
screening,
right? You
and
got the advanced screening. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. And so he wanted to say, oh, there might be a character that people might not like because of these reasons. I go, oh, interesting. Okay, so in my mind, I was thinking, well, if I ever get a chance to speak with her, I'll ask her. So here we are.
Yeah, not that I know of. Maybe, who knows? Everybody has
Now,
their own thing.
oh, absolutely. Now, did your time on The Walking Dead, did you think that experience kind of helped you with Obliterated, or was there anything that you found like maybe physically challenging?
Oh no, no, it definitely my time in on Walking Dead definitely helped me with Obliterated because the Walking Dead is an action show, horror action show. Um, so there was always movement and action sequences to do and zombie killing things to do. And before that, I was on Lethal Weapon, which I played a detective. So, but definitely the time on Walking Dead only helped me get, even more ready for Obliterated and all the stunts and all that stuff that we did. Um, yeah, no, it helped. All of that action helped, and the experience on set, of course, and the camaraderie and the work ethic, um, definitely was all helpful to bring into Obliterated.
I saw a picture of your hair on Lethal Weapon.
Oh, my hair. That was my own hair too.
Yeah.
Boy.
So you have different hairstyles. I love how it's all
Oh
very
yeah.
unique too.
Oh yeah. It was like poofy here and like to the side and
Like,
shaved. But now I'm like growing it out. Now it's like very different,
is
It's
that like
switching.
is that the bottom of the hair sticking upwards?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's like the hair is down, but it's a mess right
Oh, it
now.
looks
So I just keep it
okay.
up.
Fine, stop.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm growing the shave side out, you know. It's almost there. It's almost
Um, I just want to talk with you about a few of Gomez's sequences. I don't know if there's anything. Do you have anything worth sharing from like the party sequence in the first episode? Like maybe with McKnight and Trunk and the dildo, like anything like that.
um that was just
I
fun.
hope this fits.
We I know, it's ridiculous. Absolute ridiculousness. No, we had rehearsed the first time we got to Albuquerque that day, we rehearsed a little bit of those scenes. And because that took us, I think, like 4 or 5 days or more to film that party scene because of the large scope of it. And the different rooms and different areas, and we follow Paul and we follow this character and we follow the other one and we follow Kimmy and um yeah. Is there anything specifically about that?
There, let me ask you this one. There's a sequence when you're holding the dildo, and I believe it's right when you Gomez sees Sarah, and she
Uh-huh.
points with it. Was that direction, or is that something you did?
No, that was me. I
Yeah,
believe that was
that's
me. Yeah,
I
that was
because
probably me.
I remember seeing that, and I shared it on Instagram. I go, I love how she's pointing with it, because it's so funny.
Like, and then it just goes like bling, bling. It's like
Yeah,
bling. It's
yeah,
like Alpha Sierra Sierra.
yeah.
It's just. I mean, we had such a blast. Filming this. It was like being in a playground, like an adult playground. It's Vegas. It's the guys and it's all of us. We all got along super well. So it was just awesome. It's just awesome.
Can you share about the kind of not a compound, but the sequence where the team is going to rescue Trunk and Lana and stuff, and then like there's that whole like the fitness mirror, that sequence for Gomez. Can you talk about that? Anything worth sharing there?
Yeah. I mean, that's where I broke my foot, but um, but what else can I share from that? Uh, stunt life. That's stunt life. Um, that sequence. I mean, that sequence was awesome. When I read that, I was like, "Oh, this is sick," because like the whole mirror thing, or like the Peloton or whatever company you want to compare it to, not Peloton, whatever tonal, whatever
Sure,
thing that speaks to you and makes you work out. Um, that whole sequence was awesome. We shot it in a very small space in the studio, so it was a little hard to film because of the all the equipment and all the physicality in that scene. But I'm trying to think. What was the question? Was there anything specific from
yeah,
that?
just anything. I was kind of going through like some of like Gomez's like bigger sequences when she has her moments and stuff. Okay, what about the zip lining?
Oh, that was awesome. That was
Colors,
awesome.
colors.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was awesome. We filmed that I think it was like 2 in the morning or something. So it was cold up there. Cold for a Puerto Rican. Cold for a Puerto Rican. And it was crazy because we we practiced once with the camera and me on the other one. So the cameraman was in one and I'm in the other one. And what kept happening is like he weighed more, so he would go faster down, you know. So then he can't see me and I'm back here, so he can't film me. So then we had to figure out how to distribute um
The
not
weight.
distribute.
Oh,
No, we had to. Well, you couldn't because he had to have the camera and it had to be the cameraman. So you can't
right.
change his weight in any way. I mean, you could have added more stuff on me, but then that would have shown. What we did is like I would go down first. We had to time it perfectly to throw me down first. Oh, what was that?
I think you're doing like there's certain hand gestures that will
I
make
don't
your
play this game. I don't
yeah.
like this stuff.
You know what's funny is Lana, or not Lana, I'm sorry, Allison. She was doing something and her camera thought she was giving me a thumbs up, so a thumbs up popped up on the screen. Let's see.
Is it popping?
See, there it
Yep.
is.
I
Isn't
don't
that
play this
funny?
game. But that was weird, that one.
Yeah, that was. I was
That
all like, what's going on? Someone turn off the lights?
Yeah, that was very
I,
strange.
I thought we were getting real dramatic here, Paula.
I know, and it was like, pow. But so finally we figured out that to throw me first down, and then wait X amount of seconds, but we did it like 10 times. We had to
Oh
do it like 10
wow.
times to
And
finally
you
get it. And it was cold. We ended up like finishing like 4:30 a.m. But it was, I mean, it's a dream come true. Like you cannot complain. Like it's awesome.
yeah, you're not scared of heights, yeah. So
I mean, no, not really. I mean, I don't love it. You know, it's not.
right.
I mean, I like the zip line thing. Um, yeah, no, I wasn't super scared. It's scary at first, but we went and practiced. I think the day before during the afternoon, I did it once. Might have done it twice. And I had done zip lining before in Georgia in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So I don't know, no complaints. It was awesome.
I did
Dream
it
come
in
true.
Mexico, platform to platform, and just I forgot how far
Wild,
it was down. Scary,
scary. Yep.
I wasn't prepared, but I don't know if I'd do it again. Maybe. Who knows? It depends.
You will. You
Um,
probably will.
maybe. As we get ready to wrap up, uh, can you talk about the final sequence with, well, not the final sequence, but Billy, right? Like Gomez and Billy up on the rooftop, just kind of showing that because we haven't seen Barrett, like we've only seen him in a picture, right? And then Barrett, who
Right.
plays Billy, boom, shows up on the roof, and you're not expecting it to be him because at this
Right.
point we kind of forgot about that whole dynamic.
Right. Right. Oh man, Barrett and I had so much fun filming that. It was it was hilarious. Like he's he's so fun to work with. And just that whole sequence is just hilarious because it goes from like being like ridiculous to being like ridiculous but like serious. Like, dude, I need you to do this. I need you to hold up your watch. And he's like, what am I doing? And I'm like, chill the fuck out. Like basically, like it was just, and he's so good in that role. Like, we really had a blast. We really had a blast, and there was a lot of physicality, and he's really good at that stuff too. Uh, it was just awesome, man. It was just awesome, and he's just so funny. He's like, and like with the hand, like, oh man, he's great.
I thought that was kind of well crafted in terms of like
Yeah.
the intricacy of like the watch and all that. I thought that was really good. Um, I what I don't know if you're able to share any kind of projects, but what is in your future, or do you ever want to write a feature? Because I know you wrote a pilot for a television show before, but
Oh
like
yeah.
what other writing can we expect from you in the future?
Well, right now I'm pitching a TV show. I don't know if I can talk about what it's about. I don't think I can. I don't know. I don't think I can.
Let's not.
But
Yeah.
I'm working on a pitch right now. And I'm gonna be pitching in the next couple months. And I also have another TV show that I've been working on, writing wise. And the pitch is obviously writing wise and creator wise, creation wise, creating wise. I don't know what I'm saying.
You're
But
good with words. You're better than me. I mean, I'll take it.
no, you're pretty good at it. I'm working on that. I'm working on some music, and one of my plays, the one I was telling you about that I was doing in Washington when I got the audition for Obliterated, that is being transformed into a film.
Okay.
So we're working on that, and yeah, we have a bunch of stuff going on, a bunch of stuff, and working on that on music too that I have to like release at some point. But I'm like, ah,
So
'cause I've never done
music,
music before.
so music, you've done stage,
Oh
playwright,
yeah,
writing, acting.
right.
Do you have a preference? Because they're all very different avenues there.
Um,
Because
I don't
obviously,
know.
like if you're performing live, you don't get to do
I
other
mean,
takes, right? You got to do it right
yeah,
then and
there's
there.
nothing. I'm sorry. There's nothing harder than performing live, performing a play like that. Like no, no, you cannot tell me that doing a movie or a TV show is harder. Sorry. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I won't
Sorry.
say
Try remembering 120 pages 8 times a week on stage
maybe
with different
twice
types of
on
audiences.
Saturday or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Twice on Sundays, twice on Saturdays, twice on Wednesdays sometimes. Nothing harder than that. Nope. What do I like the most? I really like doing movies and TV. It's there's something so freeing. I do miss theater. It's just like a lot of work. A lot of work. A lot of work. But I do love it, and I do, have a huge space in my heart for theater. You know, that's there's nothing like theater. There's nothing like seeing something live like that. Nothing compares to it. I don't know what I like more. I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
gotta think about that one, Peter.